Back when I was, I think, 13 or 14, I had an idolization of rock stars, like every kid did. And I saw this and I was like, whoa, that's really cool. I want to do that. So I did. I signed up for guitar lessons with a few other friends that I kind of knew in the class mutually. And we turned up to our first guitar lesson. And we were waiting in the lobby so patiently, but so excited at the same time. I remember the music in the lobby was playing, and it was I think it was like Michael Jackson or something, and our friend was showing us how to moonwalk. And like he didn't even moonwalk; he was just like shuffling his feet in a kind of way where it almost looked like it, but it didn't. Anyways, I digress. Uh, yeah, we were waiting there. My friend pulled out his guitar, and he starts showing off his moves because he's kind of got a head start on us. So he gets into it and he's playing one of his songs. I don't know what one it was. It was like a really basic song. And yeah, he was playing and we was playing, and then a teacher came up to us and was like, "Oi!" He shouted at us and he was like, "What are you doing? Like, you shouldn't be here." And we were confused. We really didn't know what was going on. And it turns out our guitar, what the fuck is happening with my words? Our guitar teacher was late, was incredibly late. So late that we didn't even have the lesson that week, and we had the lesson the next week. So we turned up to the guitar lesson, and a Rastafari showed up at the door at reception with a guitar case. I remember it was like a vinyl. It was like a hard vinyl guitar case that just looked awesome. I loved it, and he had like one of those head wraps on to hold his ever-flowing ocean of dreads. And I never got to see the dreads, unfortunately, but he looked like a Rasta pirate. He was cool. And yeah, well, it's from the outside looking in, he seemed like a very cool person. And we got into the lesson, and I sat down. We got into the lesson, and I sit down, and get handed spare guitars because I didn't have a guitar at the time. Yeah, I later bought one. And we got down into the lesson. We sat down, we got comfy, and our teacher starts to play a song. Yeah, I don't remember what song. It was just picking different chords, not chords, different notes. And yeah, I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it until my fingers started hurting, and some of the notes that I just couldn't reach with my fingers because like the guitar was just massive on me, and it just didn't really fit me very well. And yeah, we played and I wasn't hitting the right notes. I couldn't keep up with a lot of the other people in the lesson. Most of the people in the lesson were better than me because they've played before. I was brand new. I had no clue what to really do when different notes were said, and I was really falling behind. And the teacher got frustrated, and he really took a big focus onto me because I couldn't keep up. So he's getting torn apart by me because I don't know how to play. I'm just like a little lanky kid with his guitar that like like honestly, like my fingers were just like aching so badly each lesson, and I kept up with it, and we kept playing, and I think this is like the third lesson in, and he's just fed up. He's just shouting at me, and it just clearly shows. Like I'm getting beat up verbally by this teacher. He whips out a megaphone one fateful lesson. I remember this fateful lesson. He got into the class and he sat down on the piano without the cover. He'd usually like sit down on the piano with the cover. And I'm sweating so profusely right now because of what I'm doing. Anyways, I'm digressing. He sat down on the piano keys and it just made like, you know, the sound of all the keys mixing together. And it was so funny. I remember we all laughed and he got like really annoyed. Yeah, and I'm gonna get to this. Okay, it's hard. It was so like bad. It was really bad what he did to me, but it was really funny now that I look at it. Like from a new perspective, from a different perspective. So yeah, we were playing 3 blind mice, and I couldn't hit one of the chords. Not a chord. It was a note because we were finger picking the strings. And he has to come over for like the 5th time to correct my finger on the strings. And he just breaks. I broke my guitar teacher. Like, it just got to a point where, you know, he picks up this fucking megaphone that's right next to him. And at max volume, he goes,
"Bomber clap, boy. You don't know how to pick the strings to 3 blind mice. Go stand outside and wait for us to fucking play."
I don't think he swore, though. I don't think it was something like that. I'm, yet again, trying to pack the story in as best as I can, so it's coherent, but you get the idea. I'm gonna try and like get the megaphone sound distortion on that. Anyways, I wait outside this room as I hear 3 blind mice being played by everyone else, and I'm waiting out there with my guitar, not knowing what the fuck to do. And at that point, I just kind of had an epiphany, and I was like, I don't want to do this anymore. I don't know how I wasn't crying. I don't know. I think maybe at 13 or 14, I musked up enough kind of self-confidence where that wouldn't break me, which is a lot better than most kids, I'd hope. I don't know. But yeah, I remember getting back into the lesson and just getting blankly stared at by everyone, and I just felt so embarrassed. And yeah, and at that point, I definitely knew what the only choice here was, and I quit. It came to the end of the lesson, and I went back into class, and I continued on with my day, and I went home, and I just vented to my mum at the time about this whole situation. Not quite how I did right now with all the impressions and stuff, but I eventually got switched over to the drums because that was the next closest thing to being a rock star in my eyes, was playing the drums, and I still play the drums to this very day, although I took a big break in between. And yeah, I feel like that teacher could have helped me if it was like a one-on-one lesson, but compared to a group of people and you have a scrawny little kid who doesn't know how to play the guitar, I'm just a straggler at that point, and I just ended up getting bullied out, I guess. Conclusion being, that is it. Like, I don't have anything else on this, unfortunately. I don't know. Or maybe fortunately, because I talk a lot, and maybe that it's best that the video comes to an end right now. But yeah, thank you for listening to me, and I will see you in the next video. Maybe, I don't know. Bye.